important thing is not leaving gaps. That is the essential part of the of covering the plane. So the first ones that asked themselves about how to cover the plane were the Sumerians. Some Sumerians mosaics show us how they think of covering the plane with geometric figures. For example, here we see squares and rectangles. And those other figures can be related to geometric figures, but the thing is that they are not exactly equal each time. So it is not like just one geometric figure. Then was Archimedes, who studied geometric figures, and he discovered some important properties from them. For example, he discovered that the square, the hexagon, and the triangle cover the plane completely. Those figures are regular, and therefore the coverings that are made with these figures are called regular tessellations. But for example, here we see a regular pentagon, and we can observe that the pentagon does not cover all the plane because there we have a white space. And if we put another pentagon, it would overlap with the other ones. Therefore, the pentagon is not useful. So, Archimedes also said that we can cover the plane with two or more geometric figures. And these are called tessellations, semi-regular tessellations, because we use two or more geometric figures. Here we have squares and triangles. But is there any rule for making these tessellations? Yes, Kepler published the book Harmonies Mundi, and he discovered by studying many geometric figures which are the characteristics that must be on a geometric figure for covering the plane. He said these are the studies, and for example here we can see that here they overlap, so that is not useful. Here they overlap, but in here the hexagon and the squares do not. So the theorem that states the characteristics is the following. The sum of the internal angles of the polygon that meet at the vertex must be 360 degrees. Here, for example, we look at the pentagon and the internal angle is 180. And if we sum 3, we have missed 36 for getting to 360. But for the square, the condition holds, and also for the triangle and the hexagon. But what is the relationship between covering the plane with geometric figures and this type of images? Well, it was Etcher who discovered this relationship. He said that by transforming the geometric figure that we have at the beginning, the hexagon, the square, the triangle, we can get these wonderful images. So, how do we make it? Let's see an example. We begin with the covering with a regular covering of hexagons. So now we are going to focus on just one. Here we are going to make we are going to add a triangle up and another figure down. What are we going to do? We are going to rotate 120 degrees what we have drawn there to the other side. And we are going to do the same